Hello, you're welcome to Sew It Here Sewing Challenge Day 7. And in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to read a measure tape as a beginner. So to get started, you need your measuring tape, as you can see mine. And you're going to be seeing we have two sides of this tape. We have the part that is measured in centimeters, as you can see. Okay, this part is measured in centimeters, and we have the other part measured in inches. All right, so in fashion designing, we actually use both sides, but for the purpose of this tutorial, and most especially if you're in Nigeria, we majorly use more of the inch part. So I'm going to be making use of these inches. Okay, so now we have these inches calibrated from 1 to 60. Okay, so this is calibrated from 1 to 60, and I'm going to be explaining what each of these bar stand for. Now, if you look at the tape I have here, you can see that before we get to the one where one was written, the points where one was written, we have different bars. So if you go ahead to count the bars along with me, this bar is 8. Now, take note, we're not going to start from the first bar, we're starting from the second small bar. So we're going to be counting that. You can do the same as I do mine. So that's the first bar, as you can see me do. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and the eighth will be on the 2 inch. So we have 8 bars, and this 8 bars is what I'm going to be using to explain what each measurement represents. So the first bar is going to be 1 out of 8 bar. The second bar is going to be 2 out of 8 bars. The third, 3 out of 8 bars. Fourth, 4 out of 8 bars. 5 out of 8 bars. 6 out of 8 bars. 7 out of 8 bars. And 8 out of 8 bars. Okay? And I just went ahead to highlight this. So the first one is 1 all over 8. That is a fraction. And in decimal, if you go ahead to divide this, you are going to end up having 0.125. So each of these, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down to 8, they are represented in fraction. Okay, so now all you need to do is to go ahead to convert each of these to the decimal form, as you can see me do. So you can see what each represent. The first one is 0.125, the second one is 0.25. Now, some of the mark we majorly use are 0.5. A lot of person know 0.5, which is half an inch, and a lot of person also know 3/4, which is 0.75. Now I realize that not so many people know the other inches. Okay, some people actually know 0.25. But what about 0.125, 0.375, 0.625, 0.875? So as a beginner, you have to understand this, and this is something you can easily memorize. So just take time to memorize it, and as you work, you are going to get used to it. So this is just a beginner tutorial, and I hope you learned something from this video. So this is really direct. Take your time to divide, and your value is what you need to just memorize on your head. So now, as you can see, each of these bar, a quick way to remember, just know you have 1 all over 8, 2 over 8, and if you look at the fraction, the decimal we got, it's actually following a series. The first one is 0.125, the second one is 0.25. It's just one that is quite different between the both. The third one is 0.3, and that is for number 3. So it is following a series. So just take your time to sit, memorize, and you are going to get that. All right, that's the part for the measuring tape. Then another thing I'm going to say, which is an addition to this video, is what a yard represents. So if you're always hearing a yard, it means 36 inches, okay? And if you're always hearing trouser length, it means 45 inches. So when you go to the market to get your fabric, do well to ensure that your measuring tape is with you, so that you will not be cheated, okay? And ensure that you are getting whatever you want.